The spaceship shuddered softly as it pierced through Zilara's thick atmosphere. Outside, the sky was a swirl of dark clouds, and rain hammered against the viewing window in a steady, rhythmic pattern. Human explorer Taro tightened his grip on the control panel, his eyes scanning the stormy horizon. Beside him, the android Milo monitored the instruments with precise calm. Rainfall intensity is above expected levels, Milo noted in his even, mechanical voice. Visibility will be limited once we land. Taro nodded. I know, Milo. But we have to try. The readings we got from orbit suggest something unusual is happening here. The energy readings are off the charts. Milo's glowing sensors flickered as he studied the storm. Unusual energy spikes could be dangerous. Proceed with caution. The landing gear hissed as the ship touched the wet surface of Zilara. Water splashed against the hull, and a fine mist rose from the ground. Taro stepped out, his boots sinking slightly into the soft, damp soil. The rain fell in thick sheets, cold and relentless, but the faint glow of Zilara's crystals beneath the ground made the city shimmer like a scattered constellation. This place, it's beautiful, Taro whispered, more to himself than to Milo. He had never seen rain fall like this. It was almost alive, moving with a strange rhythm that made the world around him feel both magical and dangerous. Milo's sensors scanned the area. Abandoned structures detected. Signs of recent habitation, but no life forms in immediate proximity. Taro's brow furrowed. Recent habitation? That means someone or something was here not long ago. We need to find out what happened. As they moved through the wet streets, a flicker of light caught Taro's attention. Between the broken buildings and puddles reflecting the dim glow of the crystals, he saw movement. At first, he thought it was a trick of the rain, but the light moved with intention, like someone watching them. Do you see that, Milo? Taro asked quietly. Confirmed, Milo replied. Energy signatures match a living organism. Unknown species. Before Taro could react, the figure stepped forward, and the rain revealed a glowing form. A tall, elegant figure with markings that shimmered in the rain stood silently. Her eyes, large and luminescent, studied Taro and Milo with cautious curiosity. I mean no harm, Taro said, raising his hands slightly. We're explorers. Just studying your world. The figure nodded slightly but did not speak. Then, a soft voice echoed over the rain, melodic and strange. You are human. Why have you come to Zilara? Taro blinked in surprise. The voice seemed to carry through the storm effortlessly. We're here to learn, he said carefully. We saw unusual energy readings. We thought we could help, maybe, understand. A pause. The figure moved closer, stepping into the rain without seeming bothered by it. Her markings glowed brighter with every drop that fell on her skin. I am Vila, she said finally. Princess of Zilara. And your arrival is not without consequence. A storm creature hunts this planet. It grows stronger with every pulse of our energy. You may be in danger here. Taro swallowed hard. A storm creature. Yes, Vila said, her voice steady but serious. It feeds on energy, on life itself. I have been trying to contain it, but it grows beyond my control. You humans, you are brave, or foolish, to come here in such rain. But perhaps, you can help. Milo whirred softly. Threat level assessment, unknown entity. Potential danger is extremely high. Recommendation, caution. Taro nodded. We'll be careful. But we don't run from danger. That's what we do. He glanced at Vila. If you want help, we'll help. Whatever it takes. For a moment, Vila's glowing markings flickered, as if considering his words. Then she spoke, voice softer now. Follow me. If you wish to survive, you must learn the ways of Zilara. But beware, the rain is not only water here. It carries the eyes of the storm. Taro felt a chill run down his spine, though the temperature was not cold. The rain seemed to whisper, falling harder, pattering like millions of tiny fingers across the rooftops and streets. He looked at Milo. "Stay close," he said. "I have a feeling tonight will be long." As they moved through the abandoned city, the glow from the crystals beneath the puddles guided their steps. Strange shapes flickered in the shadows, making Taro's heart race. But with Vila leading, confident and unafraid, he felt a strange sense of hope. Somewhere, in the darkness beyond the rain, something watched. Something alive. The night had only just begun. And the rain would not stop. The rain fell harder as Taro followed Vila through the wet streets of the abandoned city. Each step splashed in the puddles, and the glowing crystals beneath the surface lit their path with a soft, shimmering light. The air smelled sharp and electric, like the calm before a storm, and the rhythmic drumming of rain against the buildings filled the silence between them. "This city, it feels alive," Taro said quietly. "Even if no one is here." Vila glanced at him, her glowing eyes reflecting the rain. "Zilura has its own rhythm. The rain carries memory. Every drop remembers what has happened here. You will feel it if you listen." Taro shivered slightly but didn't respond. He tried to focus on the path ahead. Milo floated beside them, scanning the streets with soft whirs. "Energy readings ahead are unusual. High levels, unstable. Recommend caution," Milo warned. Vila nodded. "The storm creature moves in the energy currents. It feeds on what it finds. If we are not careful, it will sense you. It will come." Taro swallowed hard. "Then we move fast. No waiting." The group turned a corner and entered a wide courtyard. Broken fountains and cracked statues lay under the rain, half buried in puddles. The crystals beneath the ground cast long, flickering shadows that danced like living things. For a moment, the city seemed calm, almost peaceful. Then the air shifted. The temperature dropped sharply, and a low hum vibrated through the ground. Taro's heart began to race. Milo's sensors beeped rapidly. Unknown energy entity approaching. Highly dangerous. Vela's markings glowed brighter. "It is here," she whispered. "The storm creature has found us." A shadow moved across the courtyard. At first, it was a ripple in the rain, then it took shape, a massive, twisting form that seemed to shimmer with electricity. The creature's body was covered in jagged spikes that glowed faintly with energy. It moved silently, but the hum in the air made the ground tremble beneath Taro's feet. Taro stepped back instinctively, but Vila held her ground. "Stay calm," she said firmly. "It hunts by fear. If you panic, it will strike." The creature's glowing eyes scanned the courtyard. Taro felt as if it could see into his very thoughts. A bolt of energy crackled across the air, hitting a nearby statue and shattering it into pieces. "We need to distract it," Taro shouted. "Milo, can you generate a decoy?" "Yes," Milo replied. A holographic projection flickered to life, showing Taro and Vila running in the opposite direction. The storm creature's gaze followed the projection for a moment, confused, giving them precious seconds. Vila raised her hands. Energy from the crystals beneath the ground flowed into her, forming a faint barrier around them. The creature hissed, sensing the barrier, and lashed out, sending a wave of electricity into the air. Taro dove behind a fallen column, rain soaking his uniform. "It's stronger than I expected," Taro shouted to Vila over the hum of the storm. "You are human," Vila replied, voice calm. "But you are brave. That is your strength. Remember that." The creature lunged again, and this time, Taro saw a pattern in its movement. It pulsed in rhythm with the rain, striking only at intervals when the water hit the ground. "I see it!" Taro yelled. "It attacks in time with the rain. We can use that." Vela's eyes brightened. "Yes. Together, we can control its path. They moved as one, stepping carefully with the rhythm of the falling rain. Each time the creature struck, they were ready, dodging with precision. Milo projected decoys at the same rhythm, keeping the creature confused. Step by step, they guided it toward a cluster of glowing crystals at the edge of the courtyard. The storm creature shrieked, a sound like metal tearing, as it absorbed too much energy from the crystals. Sparks flew from its body, and it recoiled, giving Taro and Vila a brief moment of safety. Not defeated yet, Vila said. But weakened. We can learn from this. Taro nodded, breathing heavily. You're amazing. How do you control this energy? Vila smiled faintly, though her expression remained serious. It is part of me, part of my planet. I have trained since I was young. But even I cannot fight alone. I needed help, and you were brave enough to come. Taro felt a mix of pride and fear. This world was dangerous, more than he had imagined, but standing here with Vila, guiding the creature with strategy and courage, he realized something important. Humans could face the unknown, even in a storm that seemed alive. The rain continued to fall, relentless, washing over the city like a river of silver. And somewhere, beyond the glowing buildings and puddles, the storm creature recovered, watching them. The night had grown darker, the city alive with secrets, and Taro knew their journey on Zelara had only just begun. The storm creature had retreated, but its presence lingered in the heavy air. Taro and Vila moved cautiously through the ruined city, their steps splashing in puddles. The rain still fell in thick sheets, and the glow from the crystals beneath the ground reflected in every droplet, creating 1,000 tiny lights that danced like stars on the wet streets. We need to find the source of these crystals, Vila said, her voice steady despite the pounding rain. The energy there is strong enough to repel the storm creature. If we can reach it, we might have a chance to stop it for good. Taro nodded. Lead the way. I'll follow. Milo, keep scanning for any movement. Milo hovered above the ground, its sensors whirring softly. Confirmed. Energy readings indicate a hidden chamber nearby. Possible underground entrance beneath the largest structure ahead. The group approached a massive, broken building that seemed older than the rest of the city. Its walls were cracked and covered with glowing vines that pulsed faintly in the rain. Vila touched the vines lightly, and they parted as if recognizing her presence. She pointed to a half-buried door at the base of the structure. This is it, she said. The chamber lies below. Step carefully. Taro checked his equipment. Let's go. They entered the chamber slowly, the sound of their footsteps echoing in the enclosed space. The air inside was cooler, and the rain outside sounded muffled, like a soft whisper. The walls were lined with crystals that glowed brighter as they moved deeper into the chamber. Energy hummed through the air, filling Taro with a strange warmth. These crystals, he said, awe in his voice. They're incredible. I've never seen anything like them. Vila nodded. They are part of my planet. They store energy and can release it in controlled bursts. With them, we can create a shield strong enough to contain the storm creature. But the crystals must be activated together, in perfect harmony. Taro glanced at her. Together? How do we do that? Vila held out her hands, and energy began to flow from the crystals into her palms. Feel the rhythm. The crystals respond to thought and will. If we synchronize, we can awaken their full power. Taro took a deep breath and focused. Slowly, he felt a vibration under his feet, a pulse that matched the faint hum in the air. He extended his hands, and a soft light connected him to the crystals. Milo adjusted its sensors, projecting a faint holographic map to show them the energy flow. At first, nothing happened. Then, the glow intensified, spreading across the chamber, weaving around Taro and Vila like a living web of light. Taro felt a surge of energy, and for a moment, he was sure he could feel the planet itself breathing beneath him. Good, Vila said, her voice calm but firm. Keep it steady. Do not let fear interfere. The crystals will respond to hesitation. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the chamber. The storm creature had followed them, its massive form slamming against the entrance. Sparks of energy shot from its body, lighting the chamber in flashes of blue and white. Taro's heart raced. It's here. Vila did not flinch. It is drawn to strong energy. We must focus. Together. They worked in unison, guiding the energy from the crystals, forming a soft but powerful shield around themselves. The storm creature lashed out, hitting the shield with a burst of electricity. Taro stumbled but steadied himself, refusing to break the rhythm. Milo projected additional energy fields, helping stabilize the shield. The creature roared, a deep sound that vibrated through the chamber. It struck again, but the shield held. Sparks flew, and rain leaked in from cracks above, but Taro and Vila did not falter. Step by step, pulse by pulse, they began to push the creature back, guiding it toward the edge of the chamber where the energy was strongest. After what felt like an eternity, the creature recoiled, shivering under the combined power of the crystals and their synchronized focus. Its glowing eyes narrowed, and with a final hiss, it retreated into the stormy night, leaving only a faint hum in the air. Taro dropped to his knees, exhausted. We did it," he said, breathing heavily. Vila smiled faintly, though her glowing eyes remained serious. Partially. The storm creature is weakened, but not defeated. We must learn more about these crystals. They are powerful, but they require balance and trust. You, humans have courage, Taro. That is why we survived tonight. Taro looked at her, a mixture of pride and awe in his eyes. I couldn't have done it without you. Vela's gaze softened. Nor I without you. Zilura is strange, even dangerous. But together, we can face what comes next. Outside, the rain continued to fall, washing over the city like silver threads. The storm creature was gone for now, but the night was far from over. Taro knew their journey on Zilura had only begun. There were mysteries yet to uncover, dangers yet to face, and secrets hidden beneath the rain and the glowing crystals. And somewhere, beyond the chamber walls, the storm waited. Watching. Learning. Taro wiped rain from his face as he followed Vila out of the crystal chamber. The storm had eased slightly, but the sky remained dark, and the rain fell in steady sheets, soaking the ruined streets. Milo floated beside them, scanning the city carefully. Energy readings are still high, Milo said. The storm creature is weakened but not fully gone. Probability of attack remains significant. Vila nodded, her glowing eyes scanning the horizon. We must move quickly. There is a place where the crystals are stronger, where we can prepare fully to face the storm creature. But first, we are not alone. Taro froze. Not alone. From the shadows of the crumbling buildings, figures emerged. They were alien, like Vila, but their eyes were sharp and calculating. They carried weapons that pulsed with energy. Taro instinctively stepped in front of Vila. Who are they? He whispered. They claim to protect Zilura, Vila said softly, but I do not trust them. Their intentions are not pure. The leader of the group stepped forward, a tall figure with silver markings across its face. Princess Vila, he said in a cold voice. Your humans are not welcome here. Hand over the energy crystals, and no harm will come to you. Vila shook her head. These crystals belong to the planet. They are not for your taking. They are not weapons. Taro's hands clenched into fists. We won't let you hurt her or take the crystals. The alien leader smiled faintly. Then you will learn quickly why humans should stay out of matters far beyond their understanding. With that, the group advanced, their weapons glowing brighter. Rain splashed against the ground as Taro and Vila prepared for confrontation. Milo projected shields around them, but the aliens were fast and coordinated, moving like shadows between the puddles. "Stay behind me," Taro said. "I'll protect you, Vila." Vila placed her hands on the crystals embedded in the street. A faint glow spread through the ground, linking her to Taro and Milo. "Together," she said, "we can hold them back." The first attack came quickly. Energy blasts struck the puddles around them, sending sparks into the rain. Taro dodged and countered with a small device that emitted a blinding light, forcing the attackers to hesitate. Milo's shields flared, blocking the brunt of the assault. Vela's voice echoed over the rain. "Do not fight recklessly. Focus on rhythm and balance." Taro glanced at her, understanding. This was not just a physical battle, it was about timing and coordination. He moved in sync with Vila, dodging, blocking, and guiding energy flows through the crystals. Milo supported them, projecting additional barriers and confusing the attackers. The aliens were relentless, pushing forward, but the combined human-alien effort held them back. Step by step, energy pulse by pulse, Taro and Vila forced them toward the edge of the courtyard. Finally, the leader growled, realizing the fight was turning against them. "Retreat," he shouted. With that, the group melted back into the shadows, disappearing into the rainy streets. Taro sank to the wet ground, exhausted. "That was too close," he panted. Vila knelt beside him, her glow softening. "They are clever, but they do not understand the bond between humans and Zilura. Your courage, Taro, it is unusual. Even my people underestimated you." Taro looked up, surprised. "Me? Courage?" "Yes," Vila said, her voice calm. "Courage is not only facing danger. It is facing it with purpose, without fear controlling your actions. You have it." The rain fell around them, softer now, like a lull after the storm. Yet, Taro felt no comfort, only the weight of the night and the knowledge that more dangers awaited. Milo floated closer. "Recommendation: move to the main crystal chamber. Energy concentration is higher there. Storm creature is likely to return. Prepare defenses immediately." Vila nodded. "He is drawn to energy. If we position ourselves correctly, we can weaken him further, perhaps even contain him entirely." Taro stood, brushing rain from his uniform. "Then we move. Together." They navigated through the abandoned streets, careful not to make sudden movements. Every puddle reflected the flickering lights of the crystals, making shadows appear alive. Taro kept a steady grip on the device Milo had provided, a small energy stabilizer to help control the crystal pulses. As they approached the main chamber, a low hum vibrated through the ground. Taro could feel it in his bones, a warning of what was coming. Vela's eyes glowed brighter. "The storm creature will test us soon. We must be ready. Tonight is only the beginning, Taro. The rain carries more than water, it carries challenge, and perhaps, destiny." Taro swallowed hard, gripping his device tightly. He could see the main crystal chamber ahead, glowing like a beacon in the darkness. The storm creature was waiting, the rogue aliens had retreated but would return, and the night stretched before them, endless and full of danger. And yet, for the first time, Taro felt a quiet determination. Zilura was strange and terrifying, but together, they had a chance. They would face the storm, the rain, and the darkness. And they would survive. The rain fell heavier again, washing over the city, hiding shadows and reflecting the light of crystals that promised power, hope, and a battle yet to come. The rain had not stopped. It fell in endless sheets, drumming against the ruined streets of Zilura. Taro, Vila, and Milo moved carefully toward the main crystal chamber, their footsteps splashing in puddles that reflected the eerie glow of the city's scattered lights. "The storm creature is near," Milo warned, sensors scanning the energy currents. "Movement detected. Probability of immediate attack, high." Vela's glowing markings brightened. "He is coming. The rain carries him." The pulses of the crystals attract him. We must be ready. Taro tightened his grip on the energy stabilizer Milo had given him. Let him come. We'll be ready. They entered the main chamber. It was massive, far larger than the first. Crystals of all sizes jutted from the ground and walls, pulsing with bright light. Energy hummed in the air, and Taro felt it thrum through his body. He had never seen anything like it. Vila stepped to the center, raising her hands. Energy flowed from the crystals into her, forming a protective barrier around the chamber. Milo hovered nearby, projecting additional shields and energy guides. Focus on rhythm, Vila instructed. Do not let fear break your concentration. We control the flow, or it will control us. Taro nodded, stepping forward, hands trembling slightly. He felt the pulse of the crystals beneath him, a steady rhythm like a heartbeat. He matched it, letting the energy flow through his hands into the stabilizer. A low roar echoed through the chamber. Sparks of electricity danced across the walls as the storm creature appeared in the doorway, massive and twisting, its glowing spikes flashing in the rain. Its eyes were fixed on the crystals, and on them. It lunged forward, energy crackling from its body. Taro and Vila held their positions, channeling power through the crystals, forming a protective dome. The creature slammed against the shield, sending a shockwave through the chamber. Taro staggered but held firm, feeling the energy pulse in time with his heartbeat. You can do this, Taro! Vila shouted, energy streaming from her hands. Focus! Control it! The creature attacked again and again, each strike stronger than the last. Milo projected holographic decoys, drawing its attention and giving Taro and Vila moments to adjust the energy flow. Taro realized the creature responded to hesitation. Any uncertainty in their movements made it stronger. He took a deep breath, steadying himself. No hesitation. Full focus, he whispered. He matched the rhythm perfectly, guiding energy from the crystals to form a cage of light around the creature. Vila mirrored him, her hands moving in precise arcs, keeping the energy flowing evenly. The storm creature roared, thrashing violently. Sparks flew, water sprayed from the cracked chamber floor, and the air smelled like ozone. Yet the combined human and alien energy held. Slowly, the creature's movements became slower, its glowing spikes dimming. Almost, there, Vila said, determination in her voice. Keep steady. Do not let it break through. Taro's arms shook from the strain, but he did not stop. Every pulse of energy, every flash of light, guided the creature toward the center of the chamber where the strongest crystals grew. Milo's shields flared, holding back surges of electricity as the storm creature's energy began to wane. Finally, with a loud, echoing roar, the creature fell back, weakened and trapped within the cage of light. Its glowing eyes flickered, and sparks of energy hissed and faded. The chamber trembled, then stilled. The storm creature was contained. Taro sank to his knees, breathing heavily, soaked from the rain and sweat. We did it, he whispered. Vila lowered her hands, the glowing barrier fading, and stepped beside him. Yes. Partially, she said. The storm creature is contained, but it is not destroyed. We must remain vigilant. Zilura will recover, but threats remain. Taro looked at her, awe and respect in his eyes. You were amazing. How do you control this power? Vila smiled faintly, her glowing markings softening. It is part of Zilura. It is part of me. But even I cannot succeed alone. Courage, Taro, your courage made the difference. He felt a warmth in his chest at her words. For the first time since arriving on this strange planet, he realized something important: humans could face the unknown, even the most terrifying creatures, and make a difference. Milo floated closer. Energy readings stabilizing. Probability of storm creature breaking containment, low. Recommend rest and assessment of crystal integrity. Vila nodded. Yes. We have earned a moment of peace. But the night is not yet over. Zelira holds more mysteries. The rain carries them, just as it carries life. Taro looked out at the pouring rain beyond the chamber walls. The city shimmered with the glow of countless crystals, puddles reflecting the lights like 1,000 stars. The storm creature lay contained, the rogue aliens were gone for now, and the night stretched endlessly before them. Yet Taro felt hope. Together, they had faced the storm, the rain, and the darkness, and they had survived. The rain continued to fall, steady and relentless, washing the city in silver light. And somewhere beyond the horizon, unseen by human or alien, other challenges waited, ready to test courage, intelligence, and the bonds forged in the heart of Zelira's night. Taro knew one thing for certain: he would face whatever came next. He had to. Because Zelira was not just a planet of rain and crystals. It was a place where courage could shine, even in the darkest storm. The rain fell heavier than ever, turning the streets of Zelira into rivers of shimmering light. Taro and Vila moved cautiously toward the main plaza, the place where the largest crystals grew. Milo floated above them, scanning the skies for any sign of the storm creature or the rogue aliens who might return. The storm creature's energy is rising, Milo said. It is sensing the crystals. It is preparing to attack again. Vela's glowing markings brightened. Then we must be ready. Tonight, we face him fully. No hesitation. No mistakes. Taro tightened his grip on the energy stabilizer. His hands were wet and trembling, but he felt a steady determination. Let him come. We can handle this. The ground trembled as the storm creature appeared on the horizon, larger and more menacing than before. Electricity crackled around its body, and its glowing spikes shot bolts into the sky. The creature's roar echoed through the city, shaking broken buildings and sending water cascading from rooftops. Stay close! Vila shouted. We must guide him into the energy field. Taro nodded. They ran toward the main crystal cluster in the center of the plaza. The rain made every step slippery, but they moved with precision, following the rhythm of the crystal's pulses. Milo projected energy shields around them, flickering with light each time the storm creature lashed out. The creature struck, sending a wave of lightning across the plaza. Taro barely dove out of the way, feeling the sparks singe the edge of his uniform. He looked up to see Vila directing energy from the crystals with her hands, forming barriers that slowed the creature's attacks. You are doing well, she shouted over the roar. Keep the rhythm. Focus your mind. Taro concentrated, feeling the pulse of the crystals beneath his feet. Slowly, he synchronized his movements with Vela's, guiding energy through the stabilizer and into the protective field. The storm creature's attacks became less precise, as if confused by their combined control. Milo projected holographic decoys, drawing the creature's attention and giving Taro and Vila space to adjust. The creature roared again, striking the edge of the energy field. Sparks flew, water splashed, and the plaza shook. Yet the shield held. We have him! Vila cried. Push the energy forward, contain him fully. Taro nodded, pouring all his focus into the stabilizer. The crystals responded, light streaming from them in bright beams that encircled the creature. It roared, thrashing violently, but the cage of energy tightened around it. Step by step, pulse by pulse, they pushed the creature closer to the center of the plaza where the largest crystals grew. Taro could feel the energy surging through him, flowing into the stabilizer, into the crystals, into Vila. It was exhausting, but exhilarating. Finally, the creature shrieked and recoiled, sparks hissing from its body as it struggled against the containment. Its glowing eyes flickered, and with a final roar, it fell back, trapped completely within the crystal cage. The rain splashed against the plaza, washing away the last sparks of its energy. Taro sank to his knees, breathless and soaked. We did it, he whispered, disbelief and relief in his voice. Vila lowered her hands, the glow of the crystals softening. She stepped beside him, a faint smile on her face. Yes, she said softly. It is contained. Zilura is safe, at least for now. Milo hovered near them. Energy readings stable. Storm creature contained. Probability of escape, minimal. Recommended, immediate recovery and assessment of crystal integrity. Taro looked at the glowing plaza, feeling a mixture of pride and exhaustion. I never thought humans could do something like this, facing a creature like that. Vela's eyes softened. It is not only strength that matters. Courage, focus, and heart, these are what make humans remarkable. You have all of them, Taro. That is why we survived. He smiled faintly. Thanks, Vela. I couldn't have done it without you. She shook her head. And I could not have done it without you. Zilura is strange, even dangerous, but humans, you have a quality we do not always see in our people. Your bravery is inspiring. The rain began to ease, the first hints of dawn touching the horizon. The city shimmered under the soft light, the crystals glowing gently in the aftermath of the battle. The storm creature lay contained, the rogue aliens had retreated, and for the first time, Taro felt a sense of peace. Yet even as he looked at the calm city, he knew the night had taught him something important. Zilura was full of danger and mystery, but courage, teamwork, and determination could face even the most terrifying challenges. Vela placed her hand on his shoulder. Tonight we have proven that humans and Zilura can work together. The planet survives because of this partnership. Remember it, Taro. You are part of Zilura's story now. Taro nodded. I will remember. And I will be ready, for whatever comes next. The rain fell softer now, washing over the city in silver threads. The air was alive with the hum of the crystals, the pulse of the planet, and the quiet satisfaction of a battle well fought. Taro knew that Zilura had changed him, just as he had changed it. Somewhere beyond the horizon, unseen threats might wait, but Taro, Vela, and Milo had faced the darkness together. They had survived the storm. And for the first time since arriving on this strange, rainy planet, Taro believed they could face anything. The rain had finally begun to ease, leaving the streets of Zilura shimmering under a soft, silver light. The city felt alive in a new way. The crystals embedded in the ground and walls glowed steadily, casting gentle reflections in the puddles. Taro walked alongside Vela, both of them tired but proud, their footsteps echoing softly in the empty streets. The storm creature is contained, Vela said, her glowing eyes scanning the horizon. The rogue aliens have fled. Zilura can begin to heal. Taro nodded. It feels peaceful now. Almost like the city is breathing again. Vela smiled faintly. It is. The rain carries memory, but it also carries life. Tonight, we proved that humans can be more than visitors. You are part of Zilura's story now. Milo floated beside them, scanning the remaining energy currents. Energy readings are stable. Probability of residual danger is minimal. Recommendation, rest and recovery. Taro looked down at the wet streets, still glowing faintly from the crystals. I never thought I'd face something like that, he said quietly. A creature made of storm, and survive. I feel different somehow. You should, Vela replied. You have faced fear and uncertainty and did not let it control you. That is courage. That is human strength. They entered the main plaza, where the largest crystals stood like towers of light. The storm creature remained trapped within its cage, motionless, contained by the power of the crystals and their combined effort. The city, though battered, seemed to welcome them. Small lights flickered across the buildings as if Zilura itself recognized the victory. Taro took a deep breath. Do you think it will ever come back? Vela's glow softened. The storm creature is strong, but for now, it is contained. Zilura will continue to recover, and we will continue to guard it. But yes, nothing is permanent. We must always be ready. For a moment, silence fell, broken only by the soft patter of the rain against the plaza stones. Then, Vila turned to Taro. You have done more than survive, Taro. You have shown that humans can work with Zilura, even in its darkest moments. I respect you greatly. Taro felt a warmth in his chest at her words. Thank you, Vila. I respect you too. Your courage, and your trust, made all the difference. Milo hovered nearby, scanning the plaza. Recommendation: explore and map remaining energy points. This will help prevent future threats and strengthen defenses. Taro nodded. We should do that. But first, let's take a moment. We earned it. They walked together, slowly, through the wet streets. The rain had softened into a gentle drizzle, and the city shimmered in the glow of crystals and reflected light. Broken buildings and shattered statues seemed less menacing now, almost peaceful in the quiet of dawn. Vila stopped at the edge of a small courtyard. A pool of water reflected the first rays of sunlight piercing the clouds. Look, she said softly. Even after darkness and storm, light returns. This is Zilura. This is life. Taro gazed into the water, seeing his own reflection mingled with the glow of crystals. He thought of everything they had faced, the storm creature, the rogue aliens, the relentless rain. And he realized something important: courage, teamwork, and trust could overcome even the most impossible challenges. Vila placed a hand on his shoulder. Tonight proved it. Humans and Zilura can face darkness together. You have changed this planet, Taro. And in turn, it has changed you. Taro smiled faintly. I feel it. I feel like I belong here, in some way. Strange as that sounds. Vila laughed softly, a sound like rainfall over crystal stones. It does not sound strange. Courage and heart belong everywhere. You carry them, and they have touched Zilura. The rain stopped completely, leaving a quiet stillness. The city sparkled, and the hum of the crystals filled the air with gentle energy. Milo projected a final scan of the plaza. All systems stable. Threats minimized. Recommendation: continue monitoring, but no immediate danger detected. Taro looked out at the horizon, where the dark clouds were finally breaking. A new light shone across Zilura, soft and warm. Do you think this is the beginning of something better? Vila nodded. Yes. Zilura has survived because of courage, because of trust, because of unity. And now, we look forward. New adventures, new challenges, and perhaps, new friends. Taro felt a spark of excitement. The night had tested him in ways he never imagined, but he knew he was ready for whatever came next. Zilura was no longer just a strange, rainy planet. It was a place of hope, strength, and opportunity. As he, Vila, and Milo walked toward the heart of the city, Taro glanced at the glowing crystals beneath his feet. He could feel their energy pulsing in harmony with the planet and with him. The night had ended, but the story of Zilura, of humans and aliens working together, was only beginning. And somewhere beyond the horizon, new lights flickered faintly, hinting that adventures still awaited in the rain-soaked world. Taro smiled, ready to face them.